Welcome back to Future Vehicles on 1949, where we journey through time to revisit some of the most iconic machines ever built. Today, we're taking a closer look at a true American classic, the 1949 Chevrolet 3100 pickup truck. While its rugged and timeless exterior often steals the spotlight, this video is dedicated to exploring what lies within, the interior. We're diving into the cabin of the 49 Chevy 3100 to give you a short but detailed interior review. Whether you're a vintage truck enthusiast, a restoration hobbyist, or just someone who appreciates old-school craftsmanship, you're in for a treat. The Chevrolet 3100 was part of Chevy's Advanced Design series, which was introduced in 1947 and ran through 1955. These trucks marked a shift toward more refined, consumer-friendly pickups. Back then, a pickup truck was largely considered a workhorse, not something you bought for comfort or luxury. But with the 3100, Chevrolet began changing that narrative. The interior of this truck is a clear reflection of that evolution. Stripped down but thoughtfully designed, with touches of refinement that were ahead of their time. Stepping into the cabin of the 1949 Chevrolet 3100 is like stepping back into a different era. The first thing that hits you is the simplicity. There's no clutter, no excess, and definitely no digital screens. But that doesn't mean it lacks charm. The interior is built around utility and durability, with a kind of Spartan elegance that's hard to find in today's vehicles. Let's start with the dashboard. Constructed from pressed steel, it's painted in the same body color as the exterior, which was a common practice at the time. This choice not only saved costs but also created a cohesive look across the vehicle. The design is clean and symmetrical, centered around a beautifully styled gauge cluster. The gauges themselves are analog, of course, with large, easy-to-read dials that show speed, fuel level, oil pressure, battery charge, and engine temperature. There's a certain honesty in these dials. No hidden information, no unnecessary alerts, just the essentials you need to operate the truck. Beneath the gauges, there are a few knobs and switches, each with a specific mechanical feel. One knob controls the headlights, another operates the choke, and yet another is used to regulate the cabin's ventilation system. It's all very tactile. There's a kind of satisfaction in pulling a metal knob and feeling the mechanical resistance behind it. These aren't digital toggles or soft-touch buttons, they're real, solid components built to last. Now let's talk about the steering wheel. It's large, much larger than what we're used to today, because it needed to provide leverage for maneuvering without the help of power steering. It's a three-spoke design, typically painted in ivory or black depending on the trim and restoration choices. The horn ring sits prominently in the center, a metal circle you can press from any direction. It's elegant in its simplicity, and it gives you a real sense of connection to the machine as you drive. The bench seat is another highlight of the interior. In its original form, it's upholstered in durable vinyl or cloth, designed to withstand years of use. The seat spans the width of the cabin, allowing room for 3 people, although the middle passenger might have to contend with the gear shifter if it's a floor-mounted version. Most models came with a column shifter, a 3-on-the-tree manual transmission, so the floor remained relatively open. The seat is firm but supportive, offering a surprisingly comfortable ride considering the truck's utilitarian roots. Above you, the headliner is simple, usually cardboard or fiberboard material covered in fabric. There's minimal sound insulation, so you get all the authentic feedback from the road, the engine, and the environment. Some might consider that a drawback, but for many vintage truck lovers, it's all part of the charm. The windows operate via crank handles, and each one has a solid, deliberate feel as you roll it up or down. There's no mistaking the mechanical action. You can feel every turn and hear the gears at work. Storage inside the cabin is, understandably, limited. There's a glove box on the passenger side with a metal door that latches shut. And beneath the dashboard, there may be a small tray or shelf to hold maps or tools. That's about it. No center console, No cup holders, no hidden compartments. Everything has a purpose and there's no space wasted on unnecessary features. The door panels follow the same theme. Simple metal surfaces with a handle to pull the door shut, and a second one for operating the latch. Armrests were optional, and in many trucks of the era, they're either missing or added as part of a later restoration. The doors themselves close with a reassuring mechanical thud, a reminder of the solid craftsmanship that went into these trucks. Visibility from the driver's seat is excellent thanks to the tall upright windshield and relatively narrow A-pillars. The rearview mirror is small, mounted at the top of the windshield, and there are usually no side mirrors unless added later. Driving one of these trucks is a different experience altogether. You're sitting high, looking out over a long, flat hood. And there's a real sense of commanding the road. Even though the truck isn't particularly large by modern standards, one of the understated aspects of the 3100's interior is the use of color and trim. Depending on the trim level and the year, you might find subtle accents like chrome bezels around the gauges, or contrasting colors for the steering wheel and dashboard. These small touches added a bit of style to what was otherwise a working man's vehicle. They reflect Chevrolet's understanding that even utility vehicles can benefit from thoughtful design. The heater was optional in the 1949 model year, and if your truck has one, it's usually a small box mounted under the dashboard. On the passenger side, it uses engine coolant to provide heat to the cabin, with a simple switch to control the fan. Air conditioning? That wasn't even a dream in this class of vehicle at the time. Climate control meant opening the cowl vent or rolling down the windows. The floor is usually bare metal or covered with a rubber mat. Again, durability was the focus. These trucks were meant to handle muddy boots, spilled coffee, and heavy-duty work. The simplicity of the flooring also makes it easier to clean and maintain, which is part of the enduring appeal for people who actually use their vintage trucks today. Over the years, many owners have modified the interiors to suit their needs or tastes, installing modern sound systems, replacing the bench seat with individual buckets, or adding insulation and carpet. But in its original state, the cabin of the 1949 Chevrolet 3100 is a wonderful example of form following function. It's a rolling piece of history, preserved in steel, fabric, and glass. That wraps up our short interior review of the 1949 Chevrolet 3100 pickup truck. While it may not feature touchscreen infotainment or ergonomic seats with lumbar support, it offers something far more valuable: a genuine connection to the road, to the machine, and to a bygone era of American automotive ingenuity. If you ever get the chance to sit inside one of these trucks, or better yet, drive one, don't pass it up. The experience is unlike anything modern vehicles can offer. Thanks for watching Future Vehicles on 1949. If you enjoyed this look inside, a true classic, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next vintage review. See you on the next ride through automotive history.